having a beautiful day. We have not been on air for a couple of days. I want to apologize to the few people who that matters to. There's not too many of y'all, but I know they are a couple of y'all that matters. Good morning. I'm doing fine, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Every day. Every day. I- you also, thank you. So, I want to start this show off real quick. I wanted to say something about the situation revolving around uh, the tragedy revolving around Jamie Foxx. I wanted to say something real quick. So, in reference to wait, hold on, let me turn this. Oh, it's over. So, the situation revolving around Jamie Foxx. I'm going to say something. So, apparently, Jamie Foxx did suffer a stroke, and he has been. What they're saying basically is that Jamie Foxx might have. He's apparently blind, allegedly. Those are one of the things that they're saying, that Jamie Foxx is not blind, and they're also saying that he has other issues that's going on, neurological issues. All of these are things that has something to do with a stroke. For everybody that don't know, anybody that don't know, a stroke victim. My stepmother had a stroke at one point. Rest in peace, Bertha Taylor. She had a stroke, and you're just not the same. Um, it causes lots of problems inside of you. So we're praying for Jamie Foxx. They were actually in the middle of shooting a movie. He was shooting a movie with, I believe, Cameron Diaz. And I don't even know if the movie was finished, to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you what I believe one of the biggest tragedies about this being is Jamie Foxx is quite honestly one of our most talented people right now in show business. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't more talented people that we haven't found yet, but Jamie Foxx is literally one of the most talented people that we have. I'm going to do roll call at the 5 minute mark. Jamie Foxx is, so get your comments in now. Jamie Foxx is literally one of the most talented people that we have in the entertainment world. Just period, just in general. I don't care what nobody says. It's just what it is. Um, so our prayers go out to him. For anybody that's saying that they're gonna just wait for the family, I don't blame you because of the bad reports that previously went out about Jamie Foxx. But I do want to say this: Mike Tyson accidentally mentioned. Well, we're gonna say accidentally mentioned that Jamie Foxx had a stroke. For everybody that don't know, Mike Tyson is extremely close to the Fox family. Jamie Foxx does an incredible impersonation of him. Um, I still don't understand why they didn't do a Jamie Foxx, a Mike Tyson movie with Jamie Foxx as the lead. I still don't understand why that was never a thing, why that wasn't done. Maybe Jamie Foxx just wasn't big enough. I'm gonna assume, like he wasn't strong, bulky enough. That's what I'm gonna assume. But I think that should have, at one point or another, been something that should have been on their minds out there in Hollywood. Jamie Foxx doing a Mike Tyson jump off, that would have been lit. Um, Anything else I wanted to discuss real quick? I had some other shit I wanted to say. So Dirk went on DJ Academics' platform. Dirk says tried to get him to tell him NBA Youngboy's address. That was humorous. For everybody that's mad, and I got something to say about my son in a minute. It's in direct reference to this. For everybody that's mad at DJ Academics and some of the questions that he asked, it's like you don't know media. Stop being mad at DJ Academics. Those guys are going on his platforms to talk about those things that people are saying is a problem. Like, you got to understand this. You don't think when Dirk recently went on and was asked about Gunna, you don't think that was Dirk went on the platform to do? So I get it. A lot of people, I get it. A lot of people see a media personality ask a question and they immediately assume that the question is being asked because the media personality is trying to create an issue or a problem. When in reality, sometimes, the management of that artist calls up the media personality and say, our guy want to talk about a couple of things Can we pull up? That happens. I'm telling you. I can't even, when we was covering the Tekashi 6ix9ine case, I can't tell you how many gang members was calling me up because they wanted to snitch on another nigga. And they wasn't calling it snitching though. They call it exposing. So you have no idea how many people was hitting me up because they wanted to expose one nigga about another thing and another nigga about another thing. So before we get to this my son thing, I want to say something real quick. Why all of the dudes online that hate snitches so much make it their priority to also be trying to expose other people? Please explain that to me. You rock solid motherfuckers. You solid individuals who will never go and talk to the cops, but you'll go on the internet and tell the internet all the shit that you talking about niggas is snitching about when they go to the police. So I need to know. I need to know what the difference is. So when we was covering the Treyway trial, the Tekashi 6ix9ine Treyway trial, I had, and I'm not gonna expose nobody and throw nobody out there. I'm not gonna do that. But I had a ton of what a lot of people will call real street niggas hitting me up, wanting to tell me about this guy, wanting to tell me about that guy. I'm not gonna expose nobody because, you know, I don't really personally care. But it's the same mannerisms, fam. All of these dudes y'all see that they only content is talking about exposing somebody. Dude, they just talking about snitching on niggas. They just not doing it straight to the police. They just doing it to the police through the internet, fam. That's all they doing. So what the fuck? Anyway, shout out to my son. I want to shout out to my son, ironically and for real. At the same time, my son is endeavoring on a new platform where he's doing a podcast, I believe, called Sit Down with the Stand-Ups. I think he's trying to be, you know, I don't know. I think he thinks that's witty. I don't. I'm not shitting on him. I just don't think it's witty. I'm pretty sure other people do too. Shout out to that. But this is why I want to mention this shit real quick. God hates hypocrites. God hates hypocrites. My son consistently talks about how people with this platform is the worst people. How people that do the internet and the podcast and all of these dudes is the worst people. He consistently says that, fam. So why is he constantly trying to figure out a way to start a podcast of his own? First, he tried to start a podcast that he actually does do. I guess you could consider it a podcast with Queen Tamika Mallory, right? Shout out to that. It's needed. I'm not knocking that. I'm not trying to disrespect that, and I'm not coming for that or his new platform in any way. But what I'm saying is, you can't spend all your time talking about how people need to stop doing something, but you're trying your hardest to get into that field. So you just hating on niggas because they doing some shit that you want to do? You're not hating on people because they're doing a bad job. You hating on people because they're doing something that you wish you was doing at the level on which they're doing it. So he can't criticize academics to me ever again. Ever again. Because one, if you're blaming academics for all the questions that he asked, especially the ones that you can tell were scripted, it means that you don't know anything about the media. So I shouldn't be taking your opinion in the first place. And second, if you're criticizing something that you're trying so hard to be a part of, that means that you just hating. And if you just hating, how can you tell me that you a stand-up guy? So I'm not sure which angle he's taking this from. But I do also understand how the social media works nowadays. So if he's just doing the social media thing, then cool. But you can't just be doing the social media thing, right? And then at the same time, disrespecting anybody else doing the same social media thing that you're doing. What you doing, fam? So we're going to see how that turned out. Y'all just fall for the hypocrites, fam. And then the straight up, honest, real people who talk from their heart and really mean what they talking about, y'all be hating them. But the weirdo ass niggas that don't do nothing but be trying to get some weirdo shit going on, y'all love them motherfuckers, and I don't get it. I mean, it's your right though. Part of my language. I'm just talking crazy. Have a good one. Yeah, so y'all love them. I don't get it. I swear I don't get it. What up, Springs? Yeah, it's cold as shit, fam. Hold on, let me say this. Hold on, let's do roll call. I ain't do roll call yet. Shout out to Ty Da. He says good morning, Jack Frost. Morning. He said BBN. What up, Net Dog Clark? He says good morning. What up, Young Earl? Says salute to the chat. What up, D Candyman? He says salute. Frost Spring says salute. King, it's cold out here today. Yo, check this out. So I wake up this morning. All right, so I'll just share this. I don't really care. So I sleep in my underwear, fam. I sleep in my underwear. If I don't feel comfortable sleeping with shit on, all right? So I sleep in my underwear, meaning I don't want to sleep in a t-shirt, nothing. You understand? Only way I don't sleep in my underwear is if it's fucking cold and I got like 3 blankets, fam. I'm always only trying to sleep in my underwear. That's the only way I could put it. I'm always only trying to sleep in my underwear. I got 3 blankets, all right? Quilts, okay? So anyway, in any regard, I wake up this morning. I only have 1 quilt because, you know, it's the summer and shit, damn near. So I wake up this morning, fam. It's freezing. So I say, yo, let me go for this morning walk, right? It's like, damn, it's cold in that crib. And I'm just assuming, you know, I didn't think about it. You know, I get dressed to come outside. I have a t-shirt on like an idiot. I open my door. I'm like, wait, hold on. This ain't gonna work. Yeah, it's cold out here today, fam. Everybody be careful. This might not be a basketball day for me. I played basketball yesterday. It was terrible. The day before, it was a good day. Yesterday was just terrible. It's just terrible. We'll talk sports a little bit later if y'all want at some point. Depending on if I shut this live down to start the conventional live that we usually do out of the crib, the regular morning coffee. But yeah. Sometimes you just gotta play. Like okay, so I'm gonna say something real quick, then we're gonna get back to our regular shit. Okay, so I don't really ever try to win at games no more when I play games. When people hear me say that, I think sometimes they get the wrong impression. See, I don't try to win no more because I'm extremely competitive. So when I'm playing on the team with somebody and they don't know what they doing, or they doing shit that's gonna make us lose, I get angry and I get upset. So I can't care about winning. So the more I'm playing with people that's doing shit that can't help us win, the less I care about winning. Because I don't want to get angry and I don't want to get upset. So yeah, and that makes the game not like, I want to have fun, fam. The fuck? I'm not even gonna discuss it. In any regard, something else is going on in social media and shit I wanted to talk with y'all about. This is weird, fam. That my son, that nigga my son is weird, fam. I don't know what to tell you. He's weird. He's weird, fam. He might be a great guy. I mean, I don't know him, no. I've only come in contact with him a couple of times. But the fact that other niggas don't think the way he moving is weird, that shit is crazy. Niggas is weird. That shit is crazy. The fact nobody else think that the way that this dude is moving is weird. In a minute, he's gonna have to just acknowledge he's not an activist. That's all I can say. Because there's just a certain level. In order to do the thing that he's saying that he is, you have to have integrity. And I'm not saying he doesn't have integrity. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't exhibit much integrity when you constantly complain about the way that you constantly complain. Okay, so this is the issue that I'm trying to explain. I don't know if I did a good job of this. I'm going to say it as clearly as possible. What DJ Academics is doing is literal media shit. Okay? I know a lot of people say he's creating problems in the hood and creating arguments amongst people. I get it. But the point in which I'm trying to make is, when you are the media, people call you up to have conversations. If someone calls you up to have a conversation and then you have that conversation with them and then you do the thing that they want you to do, you see, people in the media understand what's happening. If you're not in the media, you don't know what's happening. You think that the guy just decided to ask him some question and then he wasn't prepared for it. You're not even thinking about these dudes already had concocted that, and that's probably the only reason why about to say Lil Baby. I'm gonna talk about that too. And that's the only reason why Lil Durk is there. So if he doesn't know something as basic as that, that's basic media one-on-one promotion. That's basic. Okay? That's what you think Oprah Winfrey's job was. It's basic media, fam. I hope I explained it well. So he doesn't understand that. So if he doesn't understand this basic level of media, how could he then go into that field? I'm not talking about something that's next tier understanding or knowing of. I'm talking about something that once you get into media and they start talking, teaching, you start learning anything, anywhere, you know that you're going to get calls from different individuals that's going to want to come and have uncomfortable conversations with you because they want to have the conversation and they like your platform. So the fuck is he going to talk about? He's never anyway. Always thought he was a bad guest on Vlad also, by the way. He had a couple of good Vlads. I'm going to take that back. He had a couple of good Vlads. A couple of his Vlads was kind of good. Some of them was terrible, but he had a couple of good Vlads. I'll take that back. Can we talk about this Lil Baby Gunna thing real quick? First, I want to say something about Gunna. Do y'all remember Tekashi 6ix9ine situation? And I always asked over and over again, are people mad at Tekashi because he snitched, or does this has something to do with something that's racist? I'll say that again. I always asked, are they mad at Tekashi because he snitched, or are they mad at him because he's a Mexican? Now, I consistently heard, that was wild. Now, I consistently heard, some bananas just happened. I'm going to keep it to myself, though. What the fuck, fam? So I consistently heard, just so we could be clear, people was upset because they said that Mexican snitched on the black guys and sent the black guys to jail. I consistently heard that. So I'm going to ask you once again before I even get into this conversation. If anybody want to put it in the comment section, put it in the comment section. Do you think that there was racism involved with how people were angry at Tekashi 6ix9ine? I think there was racism. I think people was mad that Tekashi was a Mexican. I've been wanting to say this outright and have this conversation for years. People were mad that Tekashi, this Mexican, came into hip-hop, a black-inspired art form, rap. Rap is always not hip-hop, but rap. And he was killing the market. And not only that, but he had all of these black dudes behind him that had his back. And all that shit he was talking could happen. Let's just be clear on that. Right? So now Gunna snitches on not just a gang, but one of the most beloved artists of our era. But niggas is gonna forgive him though. So, just so we can be clear, and everybody's freedom is important, so I'm not trying to speak down on anyone's freedom at all. But just so we can be clear, Tekashi 6ix9ine got some dudes locked up that none of y'all basically knew. And that's why I always say, if you knew these guys and you pissed off at Tekashi, I believe it. If you really didn't know these guys at all and you talking like you pissed off at Tekashi, it's cat. So, Tekashi 6ix9ine got a ton of people locked up that you niggas didn't know. Niggas in New York, niggas in Brooklyn probably knew who these niggas was, but you niggas didn't really know who none of these niggas was. Y'all had a whole fit. Gunna gets freaking Young Thug locked up, and niggas is trying to give him a pass out by saying that Thug told him it was okay. I need for somebody to explain this shit to me. That's all I'm saying. I need somebody to explain this to me. Somebody explain to me and we're not applauding anyone being in prison. Like we're not condoning, applauding, or laughing at anyone that has been jailed or in prison. I just want to be clear on this. But I need for you to explain to me how Tekashi getting some people locked up who we barely knew for crimes that were actually proven is worse than Gunna getting a world-known or a worldwide superstar who helped bring in his own sound into the game, who has artists that copy and emulate his style, who is seen as one of the most gifted and prolific artists of our time, maybe all time in hip-hop. But people forgive Gunna. So I need an explanation for that if anybody want to put it in the chat. Niggas just jealous of Tekashi, man. I didn't even listen to his music. And I told y'all then I didn't listen to his music. Niggas was jealous of Tekashi, man. Niggas was jealous. That's why they were so happy when he had this downfall. You're not supposed to revel on other people's downfall. Let that be a lesson for Sunday. When something is going bad for someone else, we are not supposed to be happy. Having joy over somebody else's misfortune or something not going right for somebody else, us having joy over that is a sin. Don't fall into that. People are always trying to convince other people to sin with them. That shit's a sin. Don't be out here happy when something bad happened to somebody else. All of y'all mothers was trying to save y'all when they told y'all if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. That's literally what the Bible tells us. A lot of y'all mothers was right. Thought that was funny. But Gunna came back at Lil Baby because apparently one of Lil Baby's homeboys is a snitch. All of these niggas hang out with snitches, fam. You can't be in the street and not hang out with a snitch, fam. You can't be. There's no crew, there's no collective of 5 people or more that don't got a snitch or a nigga that's ready to kill all the rest of y'all niggas. There is no collective like that unless y'all just all fam. Appreciate you. Yeah, so it don't even work like that, fam. Just on some real shit. So shout out to that shit. Hope something. Oh, back to what I was saying. I forgot. I walked in the store real quick. So yeah, so and that's another reason why sometimes people might see me be a little bit like I might come hang out, I might fuck with one or two of y'all, I might be cool. But I don't think it's hard to tell who's a snitch, fam. And I don't think it's hard to tell who the problem is when niggas is trying to win and niggas is not winning. Especially when you're looking from the outside to the inside. Sometimes it's not hard to tell, fam. So a lot of times when you see, especially somebody like me, be a little apprehensive, there's a reason. Like, all right, I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna use the basketball analogy. I use my own. So, I score. I'm not a shooter. I'm a scorer. I put the ball in the bucket. But if every 10 times down the court, I only touch the ball 2 times, I'm never going to be able to get into a rhythm. So that means I'll be lucky if I make 1 basket the whole game. Because every 10 times down the court, I'm fortunate if I get 2, 3 touches, maybe. So this is what niggas is doing today. Organization, right? They'll have somebody that's capable, but they'll be so busy doing other shit that they don't allow that person to help them get to the win. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to say earlier when we was talking, and I was trying to say I don't even really try to win no more, because you're not always playing with people that want to win. You playing with people that's trying to live their fucking NBA dreams. So since you playing with people that's trying to live their NBA dreams, they out there they out there doing shit. They out there taking up too much space. You understand what I'm saying? We got to share the space. You can't take up too much space. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, in any regard. So there's some people that you're going to play with, and you're just never going to win, fam. You're never going to, it's just, they're never going to let you help them win. And that's just what it is. So you got to think about that in the term of the street shit too. There's some niggas that y'all niggas be clicking up with. You can't never win with that nigga, fam. You can't win with that dude. That dude you cannot win with them. They're so busy trying to point fingers at other people that they can't even do their own job. They so busy trying to do everybody else's job that they can't do their own job. They're so busy trying to be the hero that they make sure that the hero can't do the shit the hero needs to do in order to get the win. Remember, everybody is the hero of their own story, fam. Don't forget that part. We gotta learn to work together. And when you got people that can't work together, you gotta just get them up out of there, fam. It's not gonna be easy, because the people that can't work together, that know that you got something that's a win, they're gonna do what they do to me. They're gonna want to destroy your life. You understand? They know what you're doing is a win. They know you have a thing. You know what I'm saying? My biggest fault I ever made was telling people any parts of my plans. That's my fault. I'm gonna suffer for that to the day that I die. It is what it is. Niggas heard parts of my plans and realized they wanted to be a part of it. But instead of just letting me do the things to make the thing happen, they wanted to force me to change my plans so they could be the center of my plans. And that was just never gonna happen. So I'm here now. That's basically what happened, man. I'm glad I'm smart enough not to tell people the fucking secret sauce. And that's always been why I've been so comfortable telling people my plans, because I always leave the secret sauce out. You can't go do my plans without me. I'm the secret sauce. I literally construct my plans in ways that only I can be, that I'm an important component, as I'm assuming everybody thinks, by the way. So you can't do my plans without me. You could do iterations of them. Can't do the whole thing, though. You know what I mean? I leave a lot out. In any regard. What else you talking about this morning? What else you talking about this morning? What else y'all want to talk about this morning? Put it in the chat. I just think that's funny that my son is always complaining that the media is actually doing what the media's job is. Like, what the fuck, fam? Also, could I say something? I want to just point something out. Is my son going to use his platform to get these young boys to stop arguing with each other and stop shooting each other? Because unless he's using his platform for that, what the heck is he talking about anybody else's platform? Unless his platform is specifically to get these young kids to stop going at each other on the street and killing each other. Because that's the main thing he always getting at everybody else that got a platform about, right? So I want to see what he do. I'm interested. I think it's hypocritical of him to make one. You could take that however you want to take that. Do I got this camera on the right camera? Hypocritical of him to make one. Anybody can make one. What in the hell, fam? I have no idea what's going on here. I think it's hypocritical for him to make one. And I think it's not, also I don't think it's a good idea because I don't think he knows what the media does. So I also don't think it's a good idea for that. I mean, all right, so you know that's literally what he does with Tamika Mallory, right? Somebody might call him up and say, I want to talk about a thing, I want to come on your platform. They say, come on the platform, they talk about the thing. So why wouldn't he know that DJ Academics does the same thing? Can somebody explain this shit to me? I think he's just trying to still act crowd. That's impossible. You can't still act crowd. Act crowd love him. You can't still act crowd. You only can steal the crowd from somebody that the people don't love. You can't still act crowd. Act crowd love him. up, Sebastian Tompkins? Said salute, salute. Anyway, so the NBA Finals is the Heat and the Nuggets. I might go to a bar so I can actually see the game. I don't know. I don't know. The reason why I'm saying I don't know is the NBA just isn't what it used to be, fam. And I know y'all love LeBron, but I think he's part of the problem. You see, back in the 80s and the 90s and all of this other stuff, Jordan might also be part of the problem. Back in the 80s and 90s, and even the early 2000s, we had real parity amongst the league for the most part. Where, all right, I'll explain. So, back a couple of years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, the NFL had a problem. They had no parity, right? So they had too many teams that was way stronger than other teams. So every year we had the same people going to the playoffs. So what that did was that actually they believed or they felt like that decreased that hurt their ability to make more money. What up, Chicago? Salute. That hurt their ability to make more money. So they wanted more parity. They wanted more teams spread out through the league that was good. Okay, so this started with the NFL. Where did the NFL get it from? The NFL got the idea from the NHL. Because what had happened in the NHL is, I believe they had an expansion at one point. And when they had the expansion and they had the expansion draft, it was around the same time that the NBA first had their expansion in the 90s. So when they had the expansion and they had the, because for everybody that don't know, NHL teams and NBA teams, a lot of them are owned, at least they were, owned by the same people. So a lot of people that own NHL teams also own NBA teams. You understand what I'm saying? In any regard. So the NFL did it, they did it specifically for parity. They wanted to make it so that the league was more even. When the NHL and the NBA did it, they did it because there were cities that they just wanted to bring teams to, because there was large fan bases there in those states, you know, and they didn't have anybody to root for. All right, so you can understand. So what ends up happening is the NBA decided they wanted to have parity amongst the league also. But the NBA did it differently. The NBA didn't do it the way that the NFL did it. The NBA did it by changing their rules. So now, there's a dude on Instagram. Go follow him. Devin the Lab. Shout out to Devin the Lab. He's on Instagram. So now, in the NBA, they changed the rules. So since they changed the rules, there's just, and y'all just don't even notice it, but these guys travel all the time. They take extra steps all the time. The offensive player do offensive fouls all the time. So by making the changes that they made, the game just isn't the same game. To me, the stats don't mean the same. To me, a triple-double now is not the same like a triple-double in the 1980s, fam. When you had was blood, sweat, and tears. It's not like a triple-double from the 1990s. When you was coming out of the game, blood, sweat, and tears. You had to fight for every rebound. It's not the same. And I think that the NBA suffers due to that. So I don't know how interested I am personally in this finals. And it has nothing to do with the fact that who the hell votes for Denver. And, you know, I'm a New York Knicks guy, so Miami is one of our rivals, so I don't really want to root for those guys either. I do like fucking Jimmy Buckets, though. I wanted the Knicks to get him a couple of years back. I wanted him ever since I saw him on the Bulls. I wanted Jimmy Buckets Remember when D Rose first got injured? I realized they were gonna break the team up like they did. I wanted Jimmy Buckets back then. He's a defensive player that can score. That's like how I started basketball. So I've always liked this game. For anybody that don't get it, he's just a defensive player and he can score. That's always what I've been. Like, you know, early in me playing basketball, before I was, you know, I wasn't shit, fam. People just put me on the court and I just only played D. I wasn't shit. I wasn't shit, man. I ain't started playing basketball until I was about 14, 15 years old, man. Everybody else been playing since they've been, who knows how long, since they was in their single digit ages. They've been playing since then. My brothers, I had a ton of older brothers. They didn't take me to the basketball. I only had one brother that played basketball, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot. He didn't take me to the park. So I ain't play. The park was far, by the way. It wasn't close. Like, I couldn't walk 2 blocks and go play basketball. Like, I had to walk. And also the 1980s was different. Like, nowadays, you could have an 8-year-old kid outside and he could walk 2-3 blocks and he don't really got much to worry about. You know, when I was a little kid, we didn't have all these video games. So that means that all the other 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids was outside all day, every day. That means the bad ones too. And I didn't even know what a park was, to be honest with you. I think I found out about one park, Dave. He had one in back where he lived, but they tore that shit down. They put up a new one now, though. It's a nice park back there now, though. They had tore that shit down before. I played on the fucking milk crates. I did play on the milk crate. Shout out to Dave Logan. Shout out to Dave Logan. Yeah, shout out to Dave Logan. Brian Logan, pardon me. Shout out to Brian Logan. Shout out to Brian Logan and David Hosea. Went to school with those brothers. I think Dave was like the first dude I met in first grade too. We was dating the same girl and shit. Shout out to Millie. I don't know your last name, baby girl. Shout out to Millie. It's a Puerto Rican girl. We was dating in the first grade. We was both dating her. I got in trouble for kissing her hand. I saw it in a movie. I don't know what to tell you. I saw it in a movie, fam. I watched a lot of black and white movies as a kid, fam. Coincidentally enough, I became really good friends with her cousin, Freddie. Shout out to Freddie Roman. Shout out. I became really good friends with her cousin. Apparently, she moved from the hood though. She moved from the hood. I was upset about that. That shit was funny as shit. It was like, cause I get older and I'm thinking, like, I was in first grade and me and my friend. Because Dave was the first dude I met. Me and my friend, I think we became friends because we was both her boyfriend, to be honest with you. I think that's how we became friends. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't know nobody in my school before I went there. Everybody else went to like first grade together and shit like that. I didn't know none of them. I knew 0 people, man. I lived on a dead-end block. Nobody lived on the block I lived on. So even if I came outside, there was nobody to see. There was just like a trucking companies on my block and shit like that. Car repair, get your car fixed. That's the type of shit that was on my block. It was like an industrial block. It wasn't a family neighborhood. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nobody, man. Just me. I had one neighbor on one side of me that they was like shut-ins or some shit. And on the other side of me, there was abandoned buildings. was peaceful though. I'll tell you that much. Definitely peaceful. That's always a plus. What we talking about? Put it in the chat. I still got a couple of blocks. Put it in the chat. What we talking about? I still got a couple of blocks. Morning, my brother. All right. Excuse me? I have no idea. That nigga lives here. How's he asking me who got weed? That's a whole trap. What the fuck was that about? I've seen that nigga around here a million times. How you asking me who got weed? How the fuck do I know? You done see me walk through here a million times and I talk to not one of those people in that whole area. How the fuck do I know who got weed? How do I know? The fuck? This is why I don't like being a guy nobody don't know. One of them niggas probably snitched on each other and now they just said, yo, it's that guy that we don't know. I'm telling you, that's what happened. Was some nigga around here, them niggas probably snitched each other. Somebody probably fucking somebody girl or some stupid shit. Fuck do I know where to get some weed from? What the fuck? Somebody probably snitched on somebody. There's a lot of cops over there. Somebody probably snitched on somebody. Why do they blame me? I don't care. I mean, I don't care. Solve all of my problems, man. Yeah, I saw mad cops over there the other day. Somebody probably snitched on somebody. They probably said I did it. I don't know. What the fuck? You know how stupid that would be? I have a whole social media platform, and I'm running around telling on niggas selling drugs in the hood. What kind of shit is that, fam? I just want you to understand. I don't know if somebody did that or not, but I just want you to understand the fucking absolute banana shit that be going. Like the shit that really do be happening to me though, is shit that can only like it would never happen to nobody else. Because if you said the same things that people say about me to another person, nobody would never believe him. Like people just believe the shit because the people are saying it about me. If somebody else, you said it about any other human being that ever lived in the existence of the world, nobody will believe it because it wouldn't make sense. What sense would it? You understand? And this dude see me walking, talking to my phone, so obviously I'm live streaming. He asked me a question like that. Come on, man. Please never ask me why I stay to myself and I don't talk to people. People are weirdos, fam. Not everybody, but you just don't never know who is and who ain't. Never know, fam. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it looked like it's going to be warm today, but I had such a terrible experience playing basketball yesterday. I don't think I'm playing no basketball today. Like, it was just a terrible experience, man. Like, I just wasted my time. I could have been sleeping, fam. It would have been a better use of my time. They literally just asked me to come play basketball so I could just be on their team, just be standing there to watch them. I don't understand it. But apparently they just want me to play on their team so I could just stand there and watch them. That's it. They don't actually want me to do anything. They just want me to stand and watch. Shout out to that shit. What else is going on in social media right now that anybody cares anything about? Bud Light lost 24 billion, something like that. Somewhere around $24 billion in value for doing that damn ad with that dude, the transgender guy. They lost 20-something billion freaking dollars in value to their company. Just think about that for a minute. They stockholders got to be pissed. And I'm going to tell you something else. Whoever greenlit it probably felt like they had no other choice. So there's this index that they use to rate businesses. And I'm talking about, it's an index. I forgot what the index is called. But there's this index that they use to rate businesses. And it's basically rating how LGBTQ friendly the business is. So you have a lot of CEOs. What's up? You have a lot of CEOs that they want to get high numbers on this particular index, because by them getting high numbers on this index, it helps secure their jobs. So even though this dude lost $27 billion, or didn't lose $27 billion, even though Bud Light brand, lost the value of $27 billion of value, it doesn't matter, because the dude did something that allows for him to get a high score on that index so he could keep his job. Yeah, there's a whole index made that these CEOs of these big companies need to adhere to in order for them to keep high scores so they don't lose their jobs. So they all have to do a certain level of LGBTQ stuff. They don't have this for black people or no other race of people, but they have it for the LGBTQ community. So I don't know what to tell you. This is a real thing, by the way. I just forgot what the name of the index is. This is a real thing. So now I think they're trying to withdraw. First of all, dude lost a couple of deals after that too, because there was a whole bunch of people that was jumping on the bandwagon with them. And now he's come out so much to say that he would apparently now he's like, yeah, I'll date a woman's. That's what he says apparently now. So I think he's trying to like make it seem, I think they're trying to like, but it's not gonna work. This dude don't do nothing but run around in dresses. And the people that drink Bud Light, that's not their thing. Okay, the people that drink Bud Light, they're not into the LGBTQ community movement, period. So I don't know how that's gonna work. This is a real weird world we live in, fam. They actually had cans with the rainbow on them. I don't know what you call it, LGBT coalition flag on them. And I mean, where were you gonna sell them shits? Atlanta and fucking, I guess you could definitely sell them in New York. But Atlanta and San Francisco, that's where you're gonna sell these things at? Where you selling them at? You're not selling them in Colorado. I mean, they got cores. So yeah, something that people didn't know. So there's an index that these companies got to adhere to. And when I'm saying these CEOs, I mean of every company. You understand what I'm saying? Of every company that is in existence, especially American companies. That's what I'm talking about primarily. That they have to do certain things in order to try to gain favor with the LGBTQ community, because that allows for them to get a higher number on the index, and the CEO then could then keep his job. If he gets a low number, he's most likely going to get fired. So this is why we see so much LGBT community content. Every company, every CEO has a, I guess you have to say at this level, at this time, a responsibility to put out certain levels of advertisement and or product catering to that specific demographic, or they could risk losing their CEO job. And I don't know many CEOs that's gonna say, you know what, I'll just lose the job. I don't know many people that's gonna, no, I don't think there's many CEOs that's gonna say that. Just be mindful so y'all can know what's going on. So you see the shit everywhere. That's like that's number the, I'm not BBN TV, but okay. That's one of the number one things. Okay, so I didn't watch Empire for that. So when I first started watching Empire, I had to choose between Empire and Power. I think I just chose Empire because they was on Fox. And then like an episode or two in, I saw two dudes kissing. I said, this show ain't for me. I never watched another episode. I'm not mad at them. I'm just like, okay, y'all making a show. It might be a good show. I heard it was a good show. It got canceled before Power. I just want to throw that out there. But y'all just not making content that's for me. So I could appreciate that you guys is out there working hard, doing something, putting out a message that you people need to listen to. But it just wasn't for me. So I just never watched it after those two dudes kissed. That was basically it for me. I couldn't watch that shit. It wasn't for me, fam. So I think that we need to start creating safe spaces for straight people. That's what I think we need to start doing. I mean, I'm cool with the creating safe spaces for whatever type of people. But could we also say what's up to Google? This is my tree. Could we also say what's up to could we also create safe spaces for straight people? Because we are literally so over deluged with certain movements that now you could be a straight guy, and if you're single, then all of a sudden now you're gay. So you can't be straight and be handsome, apparently, for some strange reason. I don't know why, but if you're straight and you handsome and you single, then you just even if you don't like men, you have to be gay. So that's the new thing. I don't know no other way to explain this shit to you. I don't think it makes sense, but that's the way it goes now. I don't think it makes any sense, but that's the way it goes now. If you're straight and you single and you handsome, then even if you don't like men, apparently you still gay. So I don't, that's the way the world works now. It's crazy. It don't make sense to me. What up, money bags? Yeah, it don't make sense to me, but that's the way the world works now. So I don't know what to tell you. I have zero idea what to tell you. Stand outside for a minute. I was walking in the other direction. I wasn't able to get in the sunlight. I have to run up in there and make me this coffee. What time is it? We're gonna come back. I guess what time is it right now? We're gonna come back. Give me about 20 minutes. We're gonna be live again. Give me about 20 minutes. We'll be live again. The fuck? Sorry about that. I was reading some stuff. All right, give me about 20 minutes. We're gonna be right back. I'm just gonna go inside, get set up. I'm not set up at all. I'm gonna go inside and get set up, and we'll be right back. Definitely appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody that pulled up for the show this morning. Shout out to everybody that actually commented. Appreciate you. We're probably gonna talk about something different when we come back, just so we can be clear. And I might actually brush my beard also. This beard is unbrushed this morning. I love y'all. Be right back.